Max Verstappen considered leaving Red Bull when he had doubts it could really return to its former glory in Formula One. His faith has been well rewarded, though. Now, his good friend Lando Norris is gambling on following a similar blueprint at McLaren. Norris still has about 2.5 years to go on his McLaren contract he signed 2 winters ago, and only in the last month or so has that decision started to look like less of a mistake. McLaren's decline in 2022 and poor start to 2023 risked completely undermining the progress it made through the first 3 years of Norris's F1 career, and did not reflect what Norris thought he had signed up for at all. But a huge and mighty mid-season upgrade to the MCL 60 has given Norris the tools to fight closer to the front again. In the 4 races with his more potent machine, Norris has scored 2 podiums and picked up more points than anyone except the 2 Red Bull drivers. Even Sergio Perez has only managed 6 points more. Max was recently asked if he could see similarities between his and Norris's situation that he's going through right now. He's quoted as saying, "Sometimes you've got to stick to the process. People can say they believe in it, but you really have to believe in it. You really have to know and see that you're attracting the right people to make a winning team and really get everything into place. I did trust our process around it. Of course, sometimes you're a bit skeptical. Sometimes I had my doubts, like is this actually going to work? Sometimes I had this thought that maybe I should leave. But at the same time in those years, I was also developing a lot as a driver, and you never forget who put you into Formula One in the first place. You also have to be loyal to that, I think." People sometimes say the grass is greener on the other side, but most of the time it's not. And I think it's very important to remember these kind of things in situations like that. And while it's easy to see that Verstappen and Norris had similar parallels in their careers coming into Formula One, there's also plenty of differences. Max at least got into a race-winning car pretty quickly, even if success required a few more years of patience. Apart from a brief 2-race spell in 2021, Norris had not been faced with the same kind of realistic opportunity to win that Verstappen had less than 18 months into his career. And even then, Red Bull was the last title winner before Mercedes and a consistent winner thereafter. McLaren, though, not only failed to win a championship since 2008, it's also fallen quite to an extreme depth by the late 2010s, shortly before Norris came on board. But still, the general principle is the same. A talented driver, impatient to succeed, has a long-term commitment to a team that is not quite delivering what they need, and seems to always be looking at success next time, next time, next time. Does the driver stick as a key part of the project or twist? Lando is quoted as saying recently, "In the back of my mind, there's that impatient game of, do I stick it out for another few years, or is it time to look at something different?" But the more we achieve things like we have over the past couple weeks, the more I'm very confident with the decision I made to stay until 2025. And the more confident I am that we can achieve our goals together in the future. Wins, whether literally as in Verstappen's case or figuratively like in McLaren's resurgence, are very important in those moments. Drivers who want to be loyal often just need to be given a reason to be loyal. Verstappen saw enough to stay put and it paid off. McLaren Racing CEO Zak Brown is hoping Norris does the same. Zak was recently quoted as saying, "Anytime you can have victory when you've earned it the hard way, I think that's much more rewarding. So as a team boss, I loved joining McLaren when I did because it felt like I could contribute and be a part of a rise back to the front." Where if you maybe join another team that's already at the front, if you come in and you're successful, it's like you're riding on the back of someone else's success. Or if it's not successful, then you get all the credit. You can't win, you can only lose. Here we can only kind of win as long as we go forward. Lando is ready to win, but I think he now sees signs that it's coming. We keep him very in the know of everything that's going on. He knew the journey we signed up for, and we all got frustrated at the beginning of the year because we'd gone backwards. But now that we've quickly recovered, it feels even more rewarding because it shows that the team's capable of doing it. Norris has even said that himself. He believes what McLaren has done is one of the biggest turnarounds midseason for many, many years, and has praised his team for pulling that off. But what is vital for McLaren is that it's not a false dawn. Although Norris does have a conventional way out of his contract, the fact is he can get out of it if he wants to, and McLaren agrees to let him go. It would just take a huge payout. Should, say, Red Bull identify Norris as the best long-term option alongside Max, or Mercedes want him as Lewis Hamilton's successor and Norris not have enough faith that he can have a Verstappen or Hamilton-like career at McLaren, then there will be a discussion, whether that's for 24, 25, or life beyond his current deal. The good thing for McLaren is that Norris's confidence in the long-term project has either been restored or has endured because of the swing in fortune in recent months. Whether he is right or wrong, he is buying into the idea that by 2025 or 2026, McLaren will be at the front. The last 18 months must have eroded at that faith to a degree. The ball is still in Norris's court, though. At the moment, he is more important to McLaren than McLaren is to him because only one side of the relationship is holding back the other. Brown admits Norris is critical to McLaren's vision. That would seem to give Norris the upper hand, but it's not so transaction-like. In the same way it is for Charles Leclerc at Ferrari or like Verstappen had with Red Bull, there's an emotional connection for Norris with McLaren that means something intangible, loyalty, and a desire to succeed with the team, with people the driver cares about. Everyone recognizes he's a franchise driver, said Brown. Like Lewis is, like Max is. Lando has been there from day one. The team loves him, he loves the team, and I think we're kind of going through the journey together. When he gets frustrated, so do we. When he gets excited, so do we. It's a great team atmosphere, and now hopefully we've demonstrated we've got some momentum. I don't think it'll be a straight linear line to winning races, but clearly we're back in the game. He's a critical part of the team's success. You need two great drivers, the right team, the right resources, the right technical infrastructure, the right sponsors. We kind of have all that now, we just need some time for it to come together. If some time means between now and the end of 2025, then Norris may be able to follow Max's blueprint after all. If not, then he will need to seriously consider doing what Max ultimately didn't have to do and punt on this project altogether and go somewhere else. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below, and until next time, don't forget to box for slicks.